Everyone, so it is time for a new reading vlog, and I know that I always say this, but I am really excited for this one. So the theme of this vlog is the Clear Your Shit readathon, which is a wonderful readathon that is happening for the second year in a row, or maybe is it the third year? No, I think it's the second year. So far it was always that it was like 2 months in like November and December, and then 1 month long in June. And it is hosted by Andy from Mouse Reads and Art from Ink and Plasma, and I absolutely fucking adored this readathon. I've just been super busy. I went on a trip to see my family at the beginning of June, which was basically the first 2 weeks of June. And now we're here. And so, yeah, and I'm also gonna be super fucking busy until the end of June now, but I wanted to do this vlog anyways, so we're gonna go over the prompts, we're gonna go over the options of my TBR. This is definitely gonna be chaotic. Hopefully it's still gonna be a very fun vlog. Yes, so I'm gonna go through the prompts and just some kind of like options and whatever, and then we're gonna do some reading. So the first prompt is read a book you've been avoiding the longest, and I literally have no idea what to pick for this. Like, it's not only that I am intimidated by this prompt, I actually have an idea a little bit, and that is maybe I could read This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi for this. Because here's the thing, I am in Edinburgh, and if you didn't know, like, I moved a while ago to come here for a while, and that means that a lot of my books are back home. And while I was back home during the readathon, I did not manage to have time for any reading whatsoever, and I didn't manage to start this vlog there. So I need to work with what I have behind me. And pretty much all these books are kind of books, oh, I just saw something that would maybe work even better for this. That is A Crown of Wishes by Roshni Chokshi. So this is a book that came out a while ago, and I've owned it for maybe, I'm not sure if I got it last year physically or 2 years ago. Because Roshni Chokshi there was like an anniversary giveaway sort of, or like a thing where you could order the book and get these absolutely incredible character cards. So I actually read a tiny bit of it, and I have the character art as the bookmark, and so there are two of them, each for like the couple from each of the two books. And so this one is from this book, and like how fucking beautiful are they? Like, this is absolutely one of my favorite like character prints of all time. And so yeah, and this is a book that one of my besties recommended me a fucking like million years ago at this point, like literally fucking ages. And it is still something that I remember. Like, I still remember that she recommended it to me, that she was like, you know, you're gonna love this, and I still haven't read this book. So like, I need to put my shit together and read it. All I know is that it's a YA royal fantasy romance, and like, it is a little bit long, and I've been kind of struggling with fantasy, but like, I know I'm gonna love this, and it's actually not that long. It's 365 pages. So like, I really think I should do this. Am I gonna be able to do it on time? Not really sure, but like, I'm gonna put it out there. So yeah. The second one is read a book with food themes or items. So I have the perfect choice for this is Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander, which is an adult contemporary rom-com that is a queer romance. I think it has a non-binary main character. It does work for the prompt that is to read a book with LGBTQIA plus representation, which is the last prompt written down on here. But I do have other options for a queer book, but either way, it's great to have many options. So yes. Then we have a prompt that is read a book with multiple points of view. This is gonna be super fucking easy. And oh my gosh, now that I think about it, I didn't realize that I've literally read books this month that were for like maybe random videos that I featured in other vlogs, but like, it counts for the readathon. So I need to look at that, because I've definitely read some queer books. I've read books with multiple points of view and whatever. So like, I have done that. And so, okay, the next one is read a sci-fi or a book with technology in it. So I don't really feel like I have done that. So yeah, then we have a read a book with characters on the cover. I'm not sure. Okay, yes, I read a book for that. So you know what? I think I'm gonna mention maybe later on, because like I don't want this clip to be 10 years long. Then we have read a comforting book, which like obviously I actually have a great option for that. Then we have read a book you can finish over the weekend to avoid a manic Monday, and then the read a queer book. Okay. So for the last prompt and for comfort book, I actually have a book that I, yes, literally bought today. So if you didn't know, kind of like the main only rule of the readathon is that it's all about not buying new books and actually getting through the books that you own. And I did buy this book and I bought some other books in June. So yes, it is my birthday month, okay? And before that, I didn't let myself buy almost any books for a long time. So I have no regrets. But I got The Sad Ghost Club by Liz Meddings today. And you know that it's, for me, it's like, it is always worth buying books in general, but like I know that I should be buying a book if I know that I want to read it immediately. And I got it today and I'm already halfway through. So I got to page 92 and super excited for it. It is really great so far. It's basically about this sad ghost and it has really strong themes of like mental health and all of that, and it is just really sweet and cute and like relatable and like sad, but at the same time it's like I think there's gonna be a lot of hope in it. And I just had to get, like, I've heard some people mention it before, but today I saw it at the bookstore. And like I always like was like kind of captivated by this cover, but this time I turned it around and it says that like this is not a sad story, and then it says, though it begins with a struggle and anxious swirling thoughts, but sometimes even the worst of days can surprise you. Join the Sad Ghost Club and find your kindred spirits. You're not alone. And like all of that, I was just like, you know what? I need to read this book right now because I've been definitely having some sad girl hours. And I just felt like I was in the perfect mood to read this kind of story. Then another book that I got today, the only other one, is Be a Triangle by Lily Singh. This is very different from what books I normally talk about, because I have not talked about or read a nonfiction book in a million years. I am a really big fan of Lily. I absolutely fucking love her, and I have been dying to read this book, but when I saw it at the bookstore, I was like, oh shit, it's a little bit more expensive than I was prepared for. And so I procrastinated on it, but today I was like, I again was just hit with the feeling of like, you know what, I fucking need to read this book right now. And I was just dying to read it. Here it says how I went from being lost to getting my life into shape, and it is just about like creating a stronger foundation and just feeling more stable and like whatever, all these things. And I just need that right now, and I love Lily, and I just know that this is gonna resonate with me so fucking much. I'm already obsessed with this book, even before starting it. Like, I don't actually know what prompt that could work for. Yes, it does work for read a comforting book, I feel like, because I do think that it's gonna, maybe like there might be some like uncomfortable truths or something, but for the most part, I think that it's definitely gonna be a super positive and actually like a super positive book that is going to bring me some comfort. And then the next one is read a book you can finish over the weekend. And I can absolutely finish this in like super quickly, just like the Sad Ghost Club. So super happy about that. Okay. And so then I think I'll only mention one more book for now, or maybe two. Okay, I'm gonna mention two books that I'm super fucking excited for. So the first one is a little bit more realistic to get to, and that is Yours Insatiably by Aveda Weiss. And I'm so fucking excited for this. And it is a very short book, or like quite a short book, basically like 200 pages. And it is an adult monster romance. It's also queer, and I just know I'm gonna love this. And I think that it's gonna be it's definitely going to be a very addicting, super quick read. So I think that I would definitely love to get to this, and like it's actually quite realistic that I could. And the last one that I'm not entirely sure I'll be able to get to is A Far Wilder Magic by Allison Saft, which is a YA fantasy romance, I think, and it's supposed to have like a really beautiful fairy tale vibe. I just think that it's gonna be beautiful and wonderful, and I really miss reading fantasy books, and I would just really love to do that. But I do think I'm gonna push myself to prioritize A Crown of Wishes before this one, and so if I manage to read this, then I might pick up this. So I hope you enjoy this vlog, and I'll talk to you soon.
Say what you wanna say to me now.
it's still the same day and it's time for a very quick update. So I did end up finishing The Sad Ghost Club today. I basically read it in like 2 sittings, like at the bookstore after I got it and then home after I talked to you, and it was just really like sweet and hopeful and relatable, and it's basically just like, I don't think I'm gonna say more about it, but I feel like this is going to be relatable or like connect with almost everyone who suffers from either anxiety or depression or both, or just like who has ever felt, you know, like an outcast and lonely. And it's a lot about that and just, you know, finding people who understand you. And I feel like it's done really well in the sense that, like, you know, we have our main character who has this like ghost suit on, and they meet another ghost person, you know, and I feel like we don't really know any details about like the main characters, literally any specifics about them, but like that is not the point. I think the point is kind of like to self-insert in this story, I feel like, and to see that like anyone can be this sad ghost and that we all have something in common, or, you know, I don't know how to say that, but it was just a lovely story. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's not like a 5-star. I'm not like in love with it, but I'm really happy that I got it and it's really sweet. I'm definitely gonna pick up the 2nd volume soon. I just really enjoyed it a lot. So that is our first read done for this vlog. And then I did start a little bit of Be a Triangle by Lily Singh, and I'm not gonna really talk about it yet because I only read a few pages, but like I said, I still have the same feeling. I know I'm gonna love this. I think it's the perfect time for me to read it as well, and I think that maybe tomorrow morning I will try to have like a nice self-care morning and read this book, and I am super fucking excited. So that is all for now, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. Hi everyone. So I feel like the lighting is probably kind of trash, so I'm sorry about that, but I have an update. We're chilling on the couch. I finished Be a Triangle and I fucking adored it. So I basically did end up reading it at the time that I told you I would. I read it yesterday in the morning / early afternoon. It was the perfect time, and just like I expected, the like themes in this book and the messages and all of that are things that I'm exactly at the right time of my life to hear. And while this book didn't feel like the most groundbreaking thing ever, it definitely does make some important points, and it still resonated with me so much. And even with things that I like kind of was aware of or like thought about or whatever, it just still like hit me harder than when I just thought about it maybe before, and like it resonated with me so much, and it just really hit me in the face, you know, like in a good way, that like, you know, I was just like really reminded of some things that matter and just some things that I want to change and adjust in my life. And it's really funny because like I have been a fan of Lily for so long, and I actually never really watched, like, I was never a fan of hers for her like main channel. If you don't know Lily, she basically like became famous through her YouTube channel called Superwoman. The medium where I fell in love with her is her vlogs. So she used to do daily vlogs on like her vlog channel, and that is where I just like became a really big fan of hers, and all the things that she talked about, and like the way that she like filmed, and just like the way that her life was like structured and all of that. She was just always a lot about like hustling and working hard and going after what you want and all of that. And around that time that I was watching her, I was exactly in that same phase of my life, and she was definitely a part of that. Like, she inspired me and motivated me so much. And it's so funny because like in the past like 2 years or so, I have completely stopped like that like hustle lifestyle because I couldn't handle it anymore. Like, I burned out and I have been exhausted and drained for so long, and I had no other choice than to stop that and change it. And I feel like in a way that is kind of what Lily has done as well, even though like our lives are obviously super different. And so it's super cool that like back then I read her first book, which is called How to Be a Boss. And that was a lot about the hustle and like all of those things. And it's so cool that like I read that at that phase and now I'm reading this at this phase. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just feel like that is really cool. And I'm just so grateful that I got to read this book. And I really loved it. So I definitely would say that I do recommend it, but I'm not sure if like, I don't think that like you need to be a fan of Lily's to enjoy this book. There is definitely a lot of value in it, and it's also just 90 pages. So if you would like to read like a self-help book that is about how to build a stronger foundation and like how to foster a better relationship with yourself and the world around you, and just like how to feel more stable basically. If you would like that, then I definitely think you should check this book out. So I read that, fucking loved it, and so now I did actually pick up 2 physical books, and so that is, one of them is Yours Insatiably, and I got to page 84. I am obsessed with it, and I'm so happy that I started it. So what did I tell you about this book? I mean, so it is about Pi and Averin, and they basically kind of have this like hate to love situation, and Pi is a fae and Averin is a succubus. Basically, it's the thing that is so funny and so cool is that it's kind of like a monster paranormal office romance. And I'm just so here for it. And I don't know how to like else describe the plot. I just really recommend you check out Feed, and then you'll see, and then you'll be excited for this. So I've mentioned this before, I feel like, but I just fucking love that concept already, that like you get a short story or novella before you get a full-length novel, because I'm a big fan of short stories and novellas. In my opinion, like the best type of novella is one that makes you desperately want more, because you fall in love with the characters and you can't get enough. And that was the case in here, and I just fucking cannot wait to see them grow closer and figure out what they're doing. And so right now it starts with kind of like enemies with benefits, to be honest. Like, it's kind of, they definitely really don't like, especially like Averin really just gets so frustrated and annoyed with Pi. So that dynamic's definitely strong between them, but they're also like super attracted to each other, and it is just the best time. I fucking love it. I love Aveda's writing as well. It's so good, and it's just like everything about it. I feel like the vibes, the world building, the main characters, obviously, I'm just obsessed with it all. And I absolutely cannot wait to keep reading this. So I have been in a really weird mood today, so I'm not sure how much more I can read tonight. And tomorrow is the day when my sister is coming here, and I'm honestly just excited as fuck, even though it like makes the video complicated. I could not care less. So I will definitely be reading more of this, and will be finishing it super soon whenever I get the chance. And I just love it. I think I mentioned that this book is queer. So we have Pi, who is non-binary and uses he, they pronouns. And I don't fully remember, I think Averin is pansexual, and I'm not sure what Pi's sexuality is. But either way, it is queer in multiple ways, and I just fucking love this book. Did I say that already? So I cannot wait to keep reading it, so I will be doing that soon. But I also just was feeling like I wanted another book, and I was just like sitting on my couch having an existential crisis, and then I saw Battle Royale by Lucy Parker, which is an adult contemporary romance I've been dying to read for ages. And it's Grumpy Sunshine has a baking competition, and I just felt like it was the perfect comfort read that I also need right now. So it is kind of long for a contemporary romance. I'm gonna figure it out, and I don't know when I will update you next, and the updates might get a little bit more chaotic now, but hopefully you're enjoying this vlog.
Turn this room, turn it to an ocean, let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
Hi everyone, so it is time for an update. I'm filming in my room because, again, my sister's here. I feel like the background is super boring, but it's not like it's that much less boring in the living room, to be honest, unless I film in front of my bookshelf, so it probably doesn't matter. Hopefully you don't mind. But I have some updates. So I have been reading Yours Insatiably, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. Like, I love it so fucking much, and I am just like so happy. So again, like I have been reading it kind of slower because obviously I've been kind of busy, like I told you a million times. But like I'm really happy because like this is a really short book. It's like 240 pages, and plus like the first 50 pages is feed. So I didn't actually, yeah, like if you want to read both Feed and Yours Insatiably, you can get the paperback, which has both of them in one. You know, I think like the ebooks are, I think, still like separate. I'm really happy that like this means that I can savor it and make it last longer, which I just have been really loving for a while now. Like I sometimes, you know, it's wonderful and super fun to have the experience of like reading a book in a few hours because you can't stop. Like that is super fun. But at the same time, especially with physical reading, I really just like to slow down sometimes because like I obviously read so much at all times, and sometimes it's just really nice to savor a book and read it for a while. Like I don't think that like when I read it really fast, it doesn't mean that I don't savor it. It definitely doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it, you know? But it's just really great sometimes. And so I'm just absolutely in love with it. I don't know what like new detailed things to tell you, but I think I did mention that like it's basically an office romance, and Avrin basically signs a contract that is just like basically like a renewal of her contract at work, and there's like on the contract it says that like she can't have any sort of relations with any of the people like at work. So that kind of like, you know, makes things complicated because she doesn't want to lose her job and all of that. So yeah, and so that's that. But another super fun part is that, like I told you, I think Avrin is a succubus, and she actually hides it and she keeps it a secret because she's super scared of just, you know, like judgment and all of that. And Pi is kind of like the only one who like knows, and he starts basically like introducing her and like showing her the monster world more. And so like, you know, they take her to like multiple places that are just magical and filled with different monsters, and I fucking love that. Like I just love that so much, and the combination of those things is so fun. It's not something I've ever like read before, like an office romance plus a monster romance, and like all of those things together, I just feel like that is just all so fucking wonderful, and I'm obsessed with it. It's just the best ever. And the next book that is like another sequel to a short novelette story situation is also coming out in July, like at the beginning of July. I fucking cannot wait for that as well. So that is that, and I am once again breaking the rules, and I'm gonna make this really quick because my battery is gonna die super soon. But I did buy 2 books, and one of them is relevant for this, but I'm gonna show you both of them because just like I didn't let myself buy books for a long time, okay? And I just need some joy in my life. And so I did buy 2 books, but I did once again start one of them immediately. So the first one that I didn't start immediately, well, I actually did, but I only read like a few pages, is Crazy Stupid Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. This is the British edition, and I have wanted to read this for a million years because I loved the Bromance Book Club. That is the first book in the series. And I have just wanted to read more of the books. I don't want to read the second one from like the reviews and everything. I don't think I would like that one, but I desperately want to read the third and fourth one. And for a while I kind of, you know, thought that I maybe would listen to it on audio, whatever. But today I saw all 4 of the books at a bookstore, and I almost bought the third and fourth book. But then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the third one for now. This is like childhood best friends to lovers. And if you didn't know, best friends to lovers is basically my favorite trope, or like one of my top favorite tropes. Definitely yeah. So I'm so fucking excited for this, and I really loved the first book, like I said, and I'm just so excited for this. And the book that I got that I'm so happy that I found there is The Girl and the Goddess by Nikita Gill. I have this book came out last year, I think, and I've been wanting to find it for ages, but I was like, you know what, like, I have seen Nikita Gill's books at the bookstore, and so I didn't want to buy it online because, like, I prefer buying books at a bookstore when I can. It's just so many times I can't because it's not available, you know, but so I wanted to wait, and it just kept on not happening. Like, they maybe had, like, Wild Embers by Nikita Gill, which I have and I love it, but I already own it. And they never had any of the new releases, nothing. And I saw it at a random Waterstones today, and it was the only book that they had there today, and so I got it and I started it, and I got to page 24, and I definitely want to read more tonight.
Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. But you and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. But you and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love.
Hi everyone, so it's time for yet another update in my bedroom. I think this is at least a different angle. I have no idea if any other people actually notice this. Like, I've heard other booktubers talk about things like this, but I wonder if normal viewers actually care about where you film and whatever. Please let me know. I would love to hear your opinion. Because I always try to film, first of all, in different spots in vlogs, because I feel like it just makes them more fun. And second of all, in more like aesthetically pleasing spots, which isn't exactly easy in this apartment. But yeah, but anyways, let's discuss. So first of all, the main thing that happened today is that I finished Yours Insatiably, and oh my god, I fucking adored this. I'm not sure if I have any new like thoughts outside of what I already told you, but I just loved this so much. It is literally it has like all the different elements that I love in like multiple ways. So I absolutely love the like monster paranormal vibes. I also love how like normal it feels as well, and the combination of those two, that it's like it feels like a normal office romance, but absolutely not normal because it's a monster version of it, you know. And it's just like, I feel like we need more like paranormal or fantasy stories that have like normal storylines that aren't like any super like action-packed crazy things, but they're just, you know, like set in a city, and like the main characters are kind of doing normal things. And you know, like Averin in this book, she just literally is like, you know, I care about my career and all of that, and you mix that with the like supernatural elements, and I feel like that is just the best thing ever. And the writing, the main characters, the romance, the steam, everything about this is perfect. And I love the writing as well. Did I already say that? It's just so fucking good. And like, I'm just so happy. And it's also short, which, to be honest, like, I want more. I do want more. Like, I want to see Pi and Averin again, you know, but like, I love short books, and this was just so fun. Even though like I obviously didn't read it in one day, it was still so quick to read. Like, I've only had, you know, like short moments when I could read, and it was so easy to read it in that time because it's short but also super fun. So I fucking adored it. If you love monster romance, you need to pick it up. But also, like, I just want to say, if you don't like monster romance and you feel like that is too much for you, but you love like paranormal romance, I would still recommend you check it out. And again, I cannot wait for the other book that's coming out super soon. Then the next physical book that I read a half of is The Girl and the Goddess by Nikita Gill. And I got to page 170. So once again, I did start it right after buying it. And I would have read the whole book, but to be honest, this is not a book that I want to read in one sitting. It is very different from other Nikita Gill's books because like It's actually like she basically, okay. Nikita Gill has multiple collections of poetry that's basically poetry and like short stories, like super short, like 1, 2, or 3 pages. And so it's kind of like a mix of that, but it's still kind of like a normal poetry collection. But this honestly feels kind of more like a novel written in verse. So it's not like, it's not actually a novel written in verse, but there's kind of like multiple actual stories that don't have like one storyline, but there's like a character and it tells their story and things like that. And so it's not normal poems, it's actually like a story that obviously has a meaning and like it is poetic in some way. It's not like an actual poem, like, does that make sense? So that is not entirely, like, I didn't entirely know that. I knew it was a little bit different, but I feel like I wanted to mention that because I feel like it's really important to me. Those two things feel very different, and I read both of these things in very different moods. And so, like, don't pick this up expecting like a normal poetry collection, but I do think that it is obviously super beautifully written and really powerful and beautiful, and it does deal with some really painful things. There's kind of like a content warning list here at the beginning, so I'm gonna show you that so that you can pause and read that if you want to. Yeah, so definitely very heavy in some parts, but also just really beautifully written and just really powerful. So again, I'm halfway through and I do think there's a chance I will finish it before the end of the month, but I'm also not sure because again, it's not I don't want to read it all in one sitting because again, it's just like something I want to take my time with. A book that I didn't even tell you that I read because I just realized. So it was very spontaneous. It happened today, and that is Paper Girls, Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. I have had this book on my TBR for a long time. I honestly have no idea what to tell you about it. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I have no idea what I thought about it. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but like, I don't know. On Goodreads it says, in the early hours after Halloween of 1988, 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls uncover the most important story of all time. So there's like a group of girls, the art is really cool, and they do a lot of things, and there's a lot of things happening. Like, I honestly literally have no idea what else to tell you besides this. I didn't hate it. I read it super fast, but I also like didn't love it. I didn't really feel connected to any of the characters, and I do think I'm intrigued enough and I like the art enough to try out another volume, but I'm happy that I just read it like as an ebook and I didn't buy it physically because I definitely did not love it that much. So the last thing is that I also started another random poetry book because I was craving like a normal poetry book again because just, I don't know, I've just been desperate for poems and wisdom and all of those things. And so I ran into this on Kindle Unlimited, and it is Blue for Yourself 2 by April Green. So obviously it would make sense for me to read it in order, but the first one was not on Kindle Unlimited and I just did not want to spend money on that yet. But so I downloaded the second one and I'm really loving it. I got to 18% and I don't know, I feel like it's a lot about like healing and self-love and just exactly the topics that I'm desperate to read poems about. And so it's just doing exactly what I wanted it to, and it doesn't necessarily work for any specific prompt, but it is a book that I really wanted to read and I'm sharing it with you now. So I'm gonna shut up soon. These are my plans. So I'm hoping that, that's all gonna work. I just, I did have more ambitious plans and I just don't think that is possible for me because literally there's 4 days left in the month. I will be working tomorrow and after tomorrow and the day after that, and then there's literally 1 day that is the last day of June, and obviously my sister will still be here, so obviously we're gonna be doing some things, and I don't want to just, you know, like I'm sure everyone gets that. I just need to shut up. So not enough time left. It's okay. I am going to get to the other books, but this is how we're gonna make it work. So I will shut up now. Hi everyone. So I feel like this is a bit of a weird angle, but it is late, and if I sit down normally, the lighting looks like shit, so we're just gonna do this. I made this vlog literally a month ago, and it just like all kind of fell apart in the end, cause I kind of mentioned, I think, that, you know, my sister came for a visit and all of that. I didn't end up having that much time to read, and I had even less time or like chances to film. So I will kind of try to wrap up everything here, but it feels kind of weird because it's just been so long. So I did not end up finishing The Girl and the Goddess because of everything I already basically told you. It is not a book that I want to fly through, and I haven't finished it since because I basically don't have the copy on me right now. I will come back to it, and I definitely will, and I do think, like I said, it is a beautiful book with a lot of powerful messages in it, but it is just really intense, and like I kind of also mentioned, like I want to read it slowly, and I also need to be in the right mood and mindset to read it. So we're gonna take our time. It's okay. So yes, but I definitely think that if it sounds like a book that you would enjoy, definitely pick it up. And then one super random thing that I'm going to mention super fast, because I never even told you in this vlog actually, that before, or like I'm not sure if it was like before the end of June or like at the very beginning of July that I finished this book, but I read Twisted Love by Anna Huang. And I think that I have a vlog after this where I mentioned this whole thing, so that is why I want to mention it in here, even though it doesn't really make sense at this point. I ended up picking it up on a whim. I just obviously knew these books were super hyped, but for so long I did not read them because I basically thought they were mafia romances. I mistook it for a series by Sophie Lark that was also super hyped, that I was like, I'm not going to read this because I really don't like mafia romances. It is not a mafia romance. Like, it is intense in a lot of ways, and it has a tiny bit of suspense, but it's basically nothing like a mafia romance. And so I ended up reading it, and I ended up loving it. Like, it was so good. And I bought the second book immediately, and that is, I think, what I kind of mentioned in a different vlog that's coming soon. So I'm sorry about all this chaos. I really enjoyed it. It was such a fun, angsty, steamy, amazing romance. I was so invested in the main characters, and it was just really good. And I think it's definitely worth the hype. And I still have not read the second book. It's just like, there hasn't been a good time, but I loved it, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series, so I definitely need to do that soon. So I think those are all the main things. There's no point in talking about anything else. I kind of did some of the prompts for the readathon, but it's literally like, you know, it's been over for a month, so who cares, you know? But I hope that you enjoyed this vlog, even though it was super chaotic. I just basically started filming super a lot because I've been loving filming so much, but I just have not had a good editing routine, and this video is kind of like one of the first ones. I basically just had super long vlogs that were just like hours of footage, and I procrastinated on it for ages because I was like, I do not have the energy to edit it, and that is why this vlog is so fucking late, so I'm sorry about that. But even though it's so chaotic, I feel like I hope you enjoyed it anyways. And I'm going to try to get back on track, but it's just taking a while, but it's okay. Hopefully, you know, no one minds that much. So if you made it this far in the video, leave a clock emoji down below, as you know, as this has been super late. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in a different video. Bye.